Now in today's class we are going to start our next chapter, that is our transaction analysis. Now how we are going to make a structure chart from the DFD in case of transaction analysis. As we have all have studied about transactions, what are transactions and what kind of transactions we develop in DBMS. So in DBMS we have seen different kinds of transactions, that is our database management system. So what is transaction? We are not going for that one. Now let's see how we are using those transactions in this case, that is our transaction analysis, to make our structure charts. Now let's see what is happening here. First of all, why this is the particular structure chart which you can see, which is showing the different transaction. This is a particular scheme, okay, where a gold coin generation scheme is there, supermarket scheme is there, where some gold coin or some surprise gifts have been given to the customers. So this particular thing is being shown by this structure chart. Okay, now let's see what is happening here. Why they are using this kind of transaction analysis chart? So these are useful while designing transaction processing programs. As we have seen previously in case of transform analysis, there we were working with the modules. Basically what is happening with the modules, we were working with that only. But in case of if you are having some transaction type problems, that is where you are using the transaction processing system, what if some transaction is going on, okay, in that case here what we can see, some kind of transaction is going on, that some sales is there, the customers are by purchasing something, they are getting some gold coins or some surprise gifts in that case, and the transaction, what kind of sales is going on in that supermarket, that is being shown here in this particular structure chart. Okay, so these kind of transaction processing problems are basically shown with the help of this transaction analysis of designing structure chart, right? Now let's see what is happening further. That is transaction driven system, one of several parts through the DFD traverse depending upon the input data item. Here what happens, which path is going to be taken, that is decided with the help of the input item. Basically your input data item should be very clear, since whatever path the DFD is going to traverse, DFD what we see, the data flow. So how the data is flowing, that is basically that is seen or that is identified with the help of your input data item. Again see, in transaction driven system, one of the several paths which we are going to take, okay, through DFD traverse depends upon the input data item. What is your input data item? So in transaction processing system, basically in this kind of analysis, what we do, we basically see the main input. In previous thing what we were doing in transform analysis, input, output and your logical processing. Here basically we will work with the input data item, that is your main point. Now third point is, each different way input data handled is a transaction. How your input data is being handled for every particular way, how my input data has been handled here, that is a transaction. That is for this particular thing is a transaction, for this is a transaction, and so these are the transactions, how I am handling my input data. So handling the input data for a particular input, that is your transaction. We will count it as one particular transaction, correct? Now there what we will see, we were taking the every bubble we were taking from the DFD, and we were handling those bubbles, how? With the help of input, output and your central transform, right? Now in this case we will only talk about the input data, how the input data has been handled for every case. You can see here, that is your transaction, a particular transaction. So number of input data will obviously give you the number of transactions, correct? Now fourth thing is this, simple way to identify the transaction is to check the input data. As I have told you, how you are going to identify what is the transaction, what are my transactions. The basic thing is what, you have to see the input data, just check the input data. So in this case I can check customer registration, this is my input data. So in this particular thing, this is my transaction, particular one transaction. For next one, winner list generation, what kind of winner, how we are giving the winner, what surprise gifts are being given. These particular thing is the transaction. And third one is the sales. So 3 kinds of transaction we can see here. Then this is one, the registration of the customer. The customer is coming to my supermarket, he is purchasing something. I am doing a registration of that customer for the scheme, particular gift scheme. Second transaction is on, so this particular transaction is going on and writing about that particular thing. It is working with that input. What is the input? That is my customer registration. It is giving the registration number. It is registering the customer to my database. It is giving the registration, customer registration number or customer number, generating that number. These kind of things are going on for this particular transaction. Next transaction, what is happening here? Winner list generation. They are purchasing the things. Now some lucky draw or something is done there. There what is happening? Some winner list is being given. So in this particular transaction, the total sales, what is happening, how the list coin, whatever gifts have been given, the gold coin list. Okay, so these kind of things have been given here in this transaction. And the third transaction, that is my registration of sales. What is my sales? That sales details has been generated and I am recording that details for my further use. So basically what we can see, 3 kinds of data I am using, 3 kinds of input data I am using, and from that input data I am making a transaction. A whole transaction is going on there with that help of the input data. So here you have to basically check the input data. If you want to proceed with this process, then you have to check the input data. Number of input data will obviously give you the how many transactions are there. To check the, to identify the transaction, what is my transaction, I have to check the input data. Simple. Now what thing? Number of input data to DFD is the number of transactions. Same thing, whatever input data is there here, in this case, that will be the number of transactions. In this case means from the DFD, you are making the DFD, in that DFD you have to see how many input data are there. That will be your number of transaction for this case. So to make the structure chart, what you have to see, just count the number of input data, how many input data are going on to your DFDs, and that will be your number of transactions. Very simple for this case. Only we can use this thing for the transaction processing problems. In other cases, normal cases, as we have seen in previous class, RMS calculation which was going on there. So in that case, what we were seeing, we were just using the input, output and logical processing, the central transform. But here, since some transactions are going on, some processes are going on within that one, so every input data is giving you a particular transaction, and you have to show that transaction with the help of your structure chart. So this particular whole system is your transaction analysis of structure chart. With the help of your DFD, you are counting the number of inputs, whatever are going to your DFD, and those inputs, you are counting those inputs, and those every particular input is your one transaction. Clear? Now see, let's see what is happening here, how we are generating this one. First of all, we are making a root module, as we have in that case also, transform analysis also, what we were doing, we were first of all we were making the root module. Then what we were doing there we were making some functional, some functions were there. Then from that we were making some sub functions, some sub modules. From that modules we were going on making some modules, other modules or other sub programs, until and unless we were getting a particular bubble where no output was processed from the particular input, no output can be concluded. But here in this case, what we are doing, we are making, first of all we are making the root module. Every same thing, there also root module, here also root module. But after that, what we are doing, each identified transaction, check the input to output. You have to check from your DFD, you have to check for every particular transaction. This is my transaction, this is my transaction, and this is my transaction. These are my transactions. So you have to see the particular input and output, what is going on. Okay, in this case, if this is my input, then what output I am getting, again what output I am getting for particular input, that thing you have to see here in this particular transaction analysis case. So every input to output you have to see to identify a particular transaction. Then all traverse bubbles belongs to a transaction. You have to see whatever bubbles are being transverse, like these bubbles were transverse. So these bubbles, how many bubbles are traverse? You have to see these particular bubbles. Every bubbles belongs to a transaction. Here whatever transaction is going on, these are the bubbles of my DFD. If I would have made a DFD, then obviously this customer registration, here will be the register customer, here generating the winner list, and here register sales. Everything will be giving a particular input. So this will be, every bubble will be my traverse, will be my transaction. You have to count the number of bubbles here. In that case, we were counting the bubbles. No number of bubbles we were counting. We were just seeing those bubbles and traversing the bubbles until and unless a bubble is coming where the input is not sufficient to give you a particular output. Here what is happening? Here you have to see how many bubbles are being traversed, okay, in your DFD, and those bubbles will be your particular transaction. Every bubble traverse will be a particular transaction, right? Now let's see, whenever you are traversing this one, same modules, that means all the bubbles which you are traversing, they will be showing you a same module. In that case, what was happening? There we were getting a particular program. From that we were having some sub programs, that is the higher level function, and some sub functions were there. One function we were getting, and that was our root function, and from there we were validating the input, we were generating the RMS and giving the result. So there what we were working with different modules. But in this case, what is happening, all the data whatever you are getting here, all the bubbles, they will be showing the same module. They are not part of different modules, they are part of your same module. Okay, same transaction, different transactions are there, but module will be same. Then now what we have to see, each identified transaction as module under root module. Here is your root module, and whatever transaction you are identifying, that will be shown as particular modules. Since this is my transaction, this is my root module, this whole thing will be my module. This will be another module, this will be another module. What is happening? Whatever by DFT is traversing, that will be within a same module, not different modules. Okay, now what the tags? What are tags? Every transaction have to identify a tag. They should have a tag. This tag will show the type of transaction you are going on with. So every transaction you will see, there will be one tag which will show you the type of transaction. Then now let's see how we have made this particular transaction analysis. Start with the root module. We are starting with the root module. So in root module, what you can see, only the basic thing. Now from these root modules, we are getting three kinds of transaction. There are three kinds of inputs are there, three kinds of transactions are there. Okay, now these transactions are what? Register customer, get winner list, and register sales. Now let's take one by one. Okay, first of all, for this register customer, what we are seeing, there are two kinds of functions are there. One is what? Get customer details. First of all, you are getting the customer details. The customer is purchasing something from you, right? And then you are getting the details of the customer. From here, these customer details will be, this data is going to, this customer details data is going to your register customer function. Here, what is happening? The customer details is going there, correct? From there, again one thing, that is the customer registration. Since the registration is going on here, now generate CN, that is your customer number. When you are giving the customer details, some customer number will be given here, and this customer number will be again sent back to the register customer. So in this particular process, what you are getting the customer details and generating the customer number, that is your customer is registered for this particular scheme. Then so this is the particular transaction where customer registration number is being generated. So this is my particular transaction. Now let's go to the second transaction. Ultimate what? Here I am getting the customer number for this particular transaction. Now next transaction, what is there? That's a winner list generation, that is getting the winner list. What is happening here? First of all, I am finding the total sales. What is the total sales for my particular annually or anything yearly? I am finding out that one first of all. Now this total sales, I am giving that particular data to this get winner list function. Here I am giving this data, that is my total sales data. I am finding how much sales have been done to this particular season or to this particular year, whatever. So these sales is been given to this get winner list. Now what it will do? It will give me a sales info I will get. For this particular function, what? Total sales I am sending, and it is giving me the sales info. Whatever sales have been done in this particular year. Now what will next happen? Generating a gift list. I am giving some gifts to those customers who have purchased so and so this amount of thing or anything. This is a scheme. So for that particular scheme, I am generating a particular winner list. Now what is happening here? I am generating that gift list from this total sales. When you are getting the total sales, you will obviously come through what is going on, how many customers had purchased how many things, and who is the highest purchasing customer. These details you are getting from that. So what you are doing with this function, you are generating a gift list and you are giving that gift list to this get winner list. Then now from there you are getting what? You are getting the sales, how much sales have been done there. You are getting a list that this amount of sales, this is the winner list, and this amount of sales have been done with them. This is my transaction, this kind of things or these things they have purchased. This is the sales what have been done with this customer. From there what will happen? You will see the highest sales, who have purchased the highest things, right? So here what you will do, you will get the gold coin list. You will give the gold coin list that this customer is, I am giving this customer some gold coin, right? Now you will get you will get a result that will be your total sales. This customer, these are the sales, this thing have been purchased by this particular customer. So this is also finished in this case. Okay, this transaction will basically what they will give, you will get a winner gold coin list. So here what will happen, you will just get a winner list. First of all, sales, total sales, you are getting the sales info, you are generating a gift list, then you are getting a total sales. That from this gift list I am giving gift to these 10 customers, but who is the first 3 highest purchasing customer. So here again you are getting the total sales. This is for the whole people what they have purchased, but this is for those people who are getting the gift. From them we will be choosing 3 people. Now you are giving this gold coin list. Okay, here you write that is the gold coin list. This is what is being generated through this particular thing, this particular transaction, right? Now this is completed. So your winner list is generated. Then now in third transaction what is happening, that is your register sales. Now these sales details which have been done in this particular year, that details is been going on through this particular transaction. Here what is happening, total sales details, generating the sales details, it is going there to register sales. That is whatever sales have been done, I am generating a details of that one. That thing I am showing with the help of this particular function. And the next function will give me the sales details. Whatever sales details I have given down, these sales details will be given back to me and this will be recorded here. So ultimate in this case what you can see, that for every transaction you just have to see what is the input. In every case the main thing which is you have to see is the particular input, and that input data will be shown as a particular transaction, right? So here we are seeing that I am giving three kinds of input. One is my customer registration, one is my winner list generation, and one is sales registration. And for every particular transaction, these are my modules. Every particular transaction is going through in one module only. Okay, all the bubbles are going to one module. So here three modules we are getting. And in these modules, what is happening, when we are generating the customer details is going, generating the customer number, that is going there. So this is my particular transaction, giving me the, taking the customer details and giving the, generating the customer number. In next one, the sales details is going, they are giving me the sales info. One input is there. Second input, I am giving the gift list. Now from these sales, I am selecting these particular customers, these 10 customers, they have done the highest purchasing. So this list I am giving here, the gift list. Then what? They are giving me the total sales list of these particular customer. From this particular sales list, I am selecting 3 customers for my gold coin scheme. So I am giving this gold coin list to the particular function, that is my generating winner list. So I have got my winner list for these particular transaction. So this transaction is basically giving me the winner list. For getting that winner list, I have to make some more transactions that are for the sales. If I am not getting the sales list, then how I will see that whom I am going to give the particular gift. Okay, so this is what the transaction is showing me, the winner list. Third transaction, what? It is for the sales registration. Okay, here what is happening, the sales details has been given, and here I am asking for the sales details, that is generating the sales details, and that sales details, when it is given back, I am recording that sales details within my database. So this is the process where you are dealing with the transaction processing system. In any kind of transaction processing system is there with you, you can easily make the, you can first of all identify the inputs, and with that input data you can easily make your different transactions. But you have to always keep in mind that for every transaction, number of transactions, when you are seeing, your input data will be the main thing to follow. But in case of transform analysis, there were 3 parts, that were our input, output, and the processing, logical processing. Everything was taken in account, but here only the input data is main thing which you have to see. In every case you can see the input data is the main thing which we are seeing. With that help of that input data, you can easily make the different transactions. Then, so basically this is the whole thing about your structure chart. Whatever thing we have studied from DFD to making this structure charts, and from transform analysis to transaction analysis, everything is in your syllabus of this structure chart, that is structural designing whole chapter. Now in next class we will see another topic which will be in your software engineering different topic. Okay, and till then, if you have any kind of doubt with this transform analysis, transaction analysis, or the structure analysis of this designing phase, if you have any kind of doubt, you can write to the comment section. And if you want me to give some lecture on different topics of technical education, you can ask me that also. And for till then, if you like my channel, please give a like, and if you want to subscribe that one, please do that. And take care. Goodbye.